The Roman Empire did not begin as a kingdom of marble or a superpower commanding continents. It began with dust rising from the feet of shepherds, traders, and wanderers living along the muddy banks of the Tiber River. No one in those early days could have imagined that this small cluster of wooden huts would someday forge roads that reached the edges of the earth, build armies that thundered across continents, and create a world order that would echo through thousands of years. Yet the seeds of greatness were already there, hidden beneath ordinary footsteps. Rome learned early that survival required strength. Surrounded by rival tribes, the Latins, Sabines, and Etruscans, the young city sharpened its instincts. Every attack made it harder, every loss made it smarter, and every victory taught Rome something essential: that discipline, loyalty, and relentless ambition could achieve what others called impossible. As the centuries passed, the Roman Republic emerged, driven not by kings, but by elected leaders, a senate of elders, and the belief that citizens should fight not for a ruler, but for Rome itself. This belief forged an identity more powerful than any weapon. Rome's destiny changed forever when it met Carthage, a wealthy maritime giant across the Mediterranean. The wars between them were brutal, stretching over generations, filled with tragedies, betrayals, and legendary commanders like Hannibal, who marched war elephants across the Alps to shatter Rome's pride. But Rome refused to break. It rebuilt armies out of nothing, called on its allies, and endured pain that would have destroyed lesser nations. When the smoke cleared, Carthage was gone, and Rome stood as the master of the Western world. That moment was the empire's awakening. Now wealth poured in: gold from Spain, grain from Egypt, philosophy and art from Greece. Conquests in Gaul, the Middle East, and North Africa expanded Rome far beyond the dreams of its founders. But this rapid rise came with shadows. Generals grew more powerful than the Senate. Armies became loyal to commanders rather than the state. Rivalry turned into bloodshed. Streets ran red as Rome's greatest men, Marius, Sulla, Pompey, and finally Julius Caesar, crossed the Rubicon and civil war erupted. The old system collapsed under the weight of its own ambition. Out of this chaos stepped a new figure, Augustus, Caesar's adopted son, who understood that Rome no longer wanted freedom, it wanted stability. He ended the civil wars, disarmed his enemies, and quietly reshaped Rome into an empire while pretending to save the Republic. And people accepted it because after a century of violence, peace felt like a miracle. Under Augustus, the world entered the Pax Romana, 200 years where the Mediterranean glowed with prosperity. Roads stretched for thousands of miles, binding the empire like arteries. Aqueducts carried rivers across the sky. Cities sparkled with amphitheaters, baths, libraries, and bustling markets. Soldiers guarded borders so vast that they touched deserts, mountains, and frozen northern seas. Travelers could walk from Britain to Syria under the same laws, spend the same currency, and stand beneath the same imperial eagle. Rome had become more than a city. It was a world. But power always cracks from within before it collapses from outside. As generations passed, emperors rose and fell with terrifying speed, some wise, some foolish, some cruel enough to become legends of madness. Corruption bled the treasury. Plague swept through cities. Civil wars erupted again and again, weakening the unity that once held Rome's heart together. At the same time, new waves of migrating peoples pressed against Rome's frontiers: Goths, Vandals, Huns, searching for land, protection, or simply survival. Some served Rome faithfully, others clashed with it. Many did both. Realizing its size had become unmanageable, Rome split itself into two halves, each with its own emperor. The eastern half, wealthy and fortified, evolved into the Byzantine Empire, holding its Roman identity for centuries. But the western half struggled. Its cities shrank, its economy crumbled, and its armies, once the envy of the world, became a patchwork of exhausted citizens and foreign fighters whose loyalty to Rome was fragile at best. One by one, provinces fell away. Old roads cracked. Great forums echoed with silence. The final blow came in 476 CE, when the young emperor Romulus Augustus was quietly removed from his throne. No grand battle, no final stand. Just a fading empire surrendering to the reality that its time had passed. But even in its death, Rome refused to disappear. The Eastern Empire lived on for almost another 1,000 years, carrying Rome's laws, traditions, and dreams forward. And the Western world inherited Rome's language, its architecture, its political ideas, and its vision of citizenship and law. Modern nations, modern cities, and even modern identities still carry Roman fingerprints. The Roman Empire was not merely a chapter in history, it was a world that reshaped everything that came after. How we build, how we govern, how we fight, how we believe, and how we imagine power. Its glory was unmatched, its failures unforgettable, and its legacy immortal. Rome may have fallen, but Rome never truly left. Subscribe if you love this kind of historical storytelling. It's not just facts, it's feelings. Drop your current city and time in the comments. I love knowing history with true